I graduated from the Milwaukee Institute of Art and Design in 2002 with a BFA in industrial design. I actually started going into art school with a fine art. I was pursuing fine art. And then I walked in and I took the tour, and I really loved drawing, sketching, sculpting. And when I saw what the industrial designers were doing, it basically encompassed all of that except more of a process-oriented way of study. So you make mock-ups, you do sketches, you do sculpture, and all these things I loved, and I basically said, sign me up. So I know there's a lot of differences sometimes with fine art and design, but to me, at the core, design is still has art. Without art, design isn't anything, because it's really about the emotion that you try to get when you're creating a new product or creating an interface. It's really about that emotion and connecting to a human part, and that's, to me, what art is. Industrial designers are both function and form, so it's the combination of it. We always say form follows function, and it's true, but we also love to push and really look at what's out there and really push it from an emotional sense. Creating products that really have empathy. Our tagline here is in global design is the science of magic and empathy, and it's really that combination of the function and the beauty side of product design that we really focus on. Product design and industrial design in general is a growing field. When you look at globally, you see countries like Korea and China really coming and emerging themselves. Brazil is coming up, and locally for me, even going to school at MIAD, when I graduated there were 14 people, and when I left, they were already doubling the classes. So you see this influx of more and more students coming out of schools because the field is growing at such a fast rate. Design gives a competitive edge to companies. If you look at companies that are at technological parity, what puts you above the edge is how do you connect to the human, the user, to the people that are going to be using the product, and it's that connection that design brings to product development or design in general, or product development in general. From their tagline, "Imagination at Work," is a great way to look at how GE is taking in design and really looking for great ideas to come out of global design. I think it's something that they've always embraced. We've been around for 70 years as a design group and within GE Healthcare, and I think it's something that will never go away, and they understand the importance of it. We represent the human side, right? And that means how the technologists or our customers are holding a handle. And you know, engineering can create the handle, but we're understanding, oh, does it feel good in your hand? And it's that from ergonomics to design research, it's all those things that create design that makes a product more tangible and something you love to use. And that's not frivolous. It's without that, it's not really a design product. So I love it all. So at GE, in my job, I get to work with patients and work with technologists and really understand what their needs are to create a product. And that part is always a blast, because you find new things just watching and observing, and then you take it on to creating what's the function and then making it even more beautiful. So making mock-ups, again, I talked about sculpture before, and creating these mock-ups is like sculpture to me, and then doing iterative sketches. It's really the whole process to me that I really love. There's not a single part of it that I don't. I think there's a great separation between being an engineer in my job and being a designer. And all of us in global design at GE Healthcare are all designers or researchers or graphic designers, all part of that art field. There's also scientists in our group that do research, but for the most part, there's a separation between what the design side is and engineering, because it's such a great combination when you take those two things together. I love working with the engineers because they bring my ideas to life, and it's understanding all the mathematics that I don't need to understand, and really focus more on the beauty and the use case of the product. There's always a misconception that the East Coast or the West Coast in terms of schools are the best, but I think the schools in this area have a lot to offer. I mean, I think you always hear about the good Midwest work ethic, and that always comes through. And also, I think the facilities in the schools like Stout or Myad are top-notch in terms of their shop and their facilities. So I think they're really comparable to the schools out east and west. It's just maybe how much they're known. You know, I think they have a good reputation, but it's I think people always think East Coast, West Coast, but I think the schools here have a lot to offer. What kept me here in the Milwaukee area is really GE, to be perfectly honest. It was my dream job coming out of school. I wanted to do something, create products that really made a difference in terms of it not just being thrown away. It's something that's helping people every day, and that really excited me. And plus, I get to work with brilliant people every day, from the engineers to the scientists that we have in our global research centers. They're such a vast amount of knowledge there that I love to interact with. So I really wanted to be engaged with GE. And also, the culture of Milwaukee is great. There's the Cultural Alliance of Greater Milwaukee is a great example of how the culture, the art culture and the design culture is starting to get unified into one place. And it's that small culture that's kind of overshadowed by Chicago in a good way, because we have our personality, that I really enjoy about Milwaukee.